Hey guys, my name is Rahul Shah and I welcome you once again to this YouTube channel where my goal is simple. It is to make investing accessible and profitable for the average investor. Now, Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, one of India's most famous investors, he bought a clutch of stocks over the past few weeks. But I think one of his biggest investments was in auto major Tata Motors. Uh, there are news that he has invested close to rupees 500 crores in the stock. Now, we don't really know what kind of an investment is this, whether it's a trading investment. Of course, given the amount involved, it can't really be a trading bet, but you never know. Whether it's an investment that he's made from a 2 to 3 year perspective or a very long term investment, like in the case of his other companies, companies like Titan and Crisil and Lupin that he has been, holding on to for many years. Nevertheless, Tata Motors does it, make a good investment from a value investing point of view right now? Is there significant upside in the stock? Is there, a big enough margin of safety in valuations? And most importantly, whether Rakesh Jhunjhunwala has indeed bet on the right horse. So let's find this out. Let's try and understand whether Tata Motors is the ideal stock at the current valuations for a true blue value investors. And in order to do that, we'll have to arrive at some estimate of the intrinsic value of the company. So let's dive into the historical performance of the company and let's try and arrive at an intrinsic value of the company and see whether there's enough margin of safety at the current price levels. So what you see on the screen right now are the key financial numbers of the company over the last 10 years. uh, the earnings power of the company is what we need to focus on if we have to arrive at the intrinsic value of a stock. So, and the earnings power of the company or the earnings capacity of a company is typically the average earnings of the company over the last 10 years or a complete business cycle. And in the case of Tata Motors, the median EPS over the last 10 years is 34 rupees. In good years, the company has earned much more than that. In 2014 and 2014, it has earned an EPS of or almost 50 rupees. It has incurred losses in bad years. 2019 and 20, the EPS has gone to as low as negative 100 rupees. 2020 again like negative 39 rupees. But in a normal business environment, the earnings capacity of the company or the earnings power of the company, I think can be considered as 34 rupees, the median EPS of the company. Uh, that can be considered as the true earnings power of the company based on the historical performance. Because there have been years where it has exceeded that, and there have been years where it has uh, achieved something much lower than that. So that will be the earnings power of a company, 34 rupees, which we'll use to arrive at the intrinsic value of the stock. Now, a lot of value investors would ignore investing in the company because it has had those 2 years of losses in 2019 and 20. A lot of very strict value investors are of the view that they should not invest in a company which has recorded a loss in even one of the last 10 years. And these companies are riskiest for these value investors, and they think it's a better idea to ignore such stocks and move on to some other stock. Then there are other value investors, like me, who believe that for a large prominent company like Tata Motors, a couple of years of losses are fine, given the fact that it's a highly cyclical industry, it's a highly competitive industry. But at the same time, for a company like Tata Motors, you should demand a much bigger margin of safety in terms of valuations than you demand for a normal stock. So, say for a normal stock, you demand a margin of safety of 20 to 30%. For a company like Tata Motors, which is cyclical and which is slightly risky than a normal blue chip, you should demand a margin of safety of at least 70 to 80% or even 100%. So as long as you have that big margin of safety, prominent company like Tata Motors, even if it's incurring losses in a couple of years and having a debt to equity ratio of more than 1 times, the average debt to equity ratio of the company, as you can see, is 1.6 times. As long as you have a big margin of safety in valuations, you can invest in the company. as far as the ROE of the company is concerned, I think an ROE of 20.9% over the last 10 years, the average median ROE is a decent ROE. It's better than what majority of the companies achieve, and it's better than the cost of capital of a typical corporate in India, which is I think 13-14%. So ROE, I think it's doing a good job. Debt to equity ratio is on the higher side, and because the earnings are volatile, we demand a margin of safety which is bigger than the normal company. Now, what is the intrinsic value of the stock? Intrinsic value of the stock is a P multiple that you give to a company multiplied by its earnings power. So earnings power of the company, we know it's around in the range of 33-34 rupees. Now, what is the P multiple that you should give to a company like Tata Motors? Typically, for a company like Tata Motors, the P multiple should be the inverse, or should be based on the prevailing corporate AAA bond yield. So right now, I think the AAA bond yields in India are in the region of 7 to 8%, and if you take an inverse of that, the P multiple that you should pay to a typical large blue chip like Tata Motors should be in the region of 13 to 14 times. 13 to 14 times because when you pay a 13 to 14 times ka P multiple, you're getting the safety of a bond from a stock, plus you're getting the additional upside. So if the earnings of the company grow from here, you're getting the additional upside for free, and on the downside you have the safety of a bond. So value investors typically pay a price to earnings multiple which is equal to the AAA bond yield to a company like Tata Motors, to a large prominent blue chip. This is the thumb rule that we usually follow. Now, as I said earlier, I would have paid a P multiple of 13 to 14 times for a company large prominent blue chip, but because Tata Motors is slightly risky, because its historical performance has been slightly volatile, and because its balance sheet is slightly stretched, I will demand a much bigger margin of safety for Tata Motors, a margin of safety of at least 100%. Yeah, that's right. So if I'm giving a price to earnings multiple of 13-14 times, you halve the price to earnings multiple, you bring it down to 6.5 to 7 times. That is the intrinsic value of the company. That is the price at which or below which you should buy a company like Tata Motors, so that it leaves you with a big enough margin of safety so that your downside is capped. So giving a multiple of 7 times to earning power of 34 rupees gives me an intrinsic value in the region of 230 to 40 rupees for Tata Motors. Tata Motors right now is I think available at a price of 135-140 rupees. So the gap between the intrinsic value of the company after incorporating a huge margin of safety and the current price is pretty big, which means that investing in Tata Motors at the current juncture, it's the risk reward ratio is is in favor of the investor. Your downside is limited, and your upside over the next 2 to 3 years could be significant, because a stock whose intrinsic value is 240 rupees, rough intrinsic value, is available at a price of 130 to 140 rupees. Now, in case you're wondering, why I did not do a qualitative analysis of the company, why I did not take into account the quality of the management, the future prospects of the industry, the product life cycle of the company, its plans for the future, and why did I focus solely on the quantitative approach to investing, only looking at historical numbers and then arriving at the intrinsic value of the company? The reason I think I did that is because I'm not looking to invest in a growth company. If you're looking to invest in a growth company which is expected to grow its earnings by 15 times, 20 times, 15%, 20, 25%, and you're paying a high PE multiple of the company, then qualitative factors play a lot more important role than quantitative factors. You have to figure out the management quality, whether it will be able to scale the business up. You have to figure out the quality of the products of the company, its standing in the industry. A lot of these qualitative factors and a lot of deep analysis comes into the picture. But when you're doing a quantitative analysis, these foresights and these insights are not that useful. All I want for a company like Tata Motors to be a good investment is whether it's able to replicate its past earnings power into the future. So as long as the company is able to earn an EPS of 34 rupees over the next 2 to 3 years, I think I'll have my upside. So all I want the company to do is earn those 34 rupees over the next 2 to 3 years, because the margin of safety in valuations is pretty huge. So the risk here is, if the company is not able to earn, its company is continues to post losses and it's not able to earn those 35 rupees ka EPS that I'm expecting it to earn over the next 2 to 3 years. So that is where the risk lies. But if it's able to do that, like it has been able to do in 7 of the past 10 years, the company has been able to earn an EPS of more than 30 rupees, and it's able to just replicate that performance, our upside is more or less guaranteed. So that's why I focused exclusively on quantitative analysis and not qualitative analysis, because the margin of safety was pretty huge at the current valuations. So to conclude, I think as we just saw, the intrinsic value of the company is in the region of 230 to 40 rupees, even when you take a big margin of safety into account, and the stock is available at a low price of 130 to 140 rupees. So this does not mean that your upside is guaranteed. It means that you have a much better chance of making profits in Tata Motors over the next 2 to 3 years than you have a chance of making losses. So Rakesh Jhunjhunwala, I think, definitely has made a sound bet, if you ask me, and the upside to downside potential in Tata Motors at the current valuations does look favorable to me from a 2 to 3 year perspective. Having said that, this is not a recommendation. I'm not recommending to you to buy Tata Motors. This is just my analysis of the intrinsic value of the company, and the risk is entirely yours if you go ahead and buy the stock. So yeah, that was my view on India's largest commercial vehicles manufacturer, and I will try and come up with similar videos in the future as well. But before I leave, please do not forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share this video. Your words of encouragement really mean a great deal to us. So please keep those comments and those likes coming. Thank you so much. See you again next time.